to bring you the constant variety of sport, the thrill of the jackpots, and the agony of the tilt. The Silverball drama with a focus on competition. The International Flipper Pinball Association, funwithbonus.com, and Coast2Coast Pinball bring you the wide world of pinball.
Welcome to the Wide World of Pinball, Episode 4, the podcast taking aim at competitive pinball. Joined, as always, my co-hosts, Mr. Josh Sharp.
What up?
Mr. Steve Bowden.
Let's go. Let's talk about all the things.
Let's do it. Let's do everything.
All the things.
Quick. All of it.
For those of you not paying attention, I have two of the greatest pinball players on the planet Earth on this podcast with me. I have number
majors. Go on.
Well, there is that. The number 6 ranked player in the world, Steve Bowden, and the number it moved. Hold on, the 15th ranked player, Josh Sharp. Glad you guys could join us on the show tonight. This is our post Pinburg show. We're the last podcast to talk about Pinburg.
Well, what's old is new again. So you know.
Wait, you know what? Maybe we should be the first people to talk about next year's Pinburg.
Let's talk about next year's Pinburg.
That'll work.
So on the official standings, when I go and look. One of you finished 5th at Pinburg, one of you finished 6th, and then I finished somewhere between 400 and a billion. We don't need to talk about that. How did Steve finish ahead of Josh when you both went out basically at the same time?
I had 7 points, and whatever they had over there, they all had 6. I think that's how that worked out, isn't it?
I think it was your Family Guy score on your tiebreaker beat my tiebreaker score on High Hand.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, by like 800,000 times.
Oh, yeah, well, I guess that's how it worked out. I mean, unless they were going to do some sort of Major League Baseball wildcard tie like they did the tiebreakers to get in.
Steve and I actually have to play a best of the room in order to break the tie, so we'll do that next year.
I like it. So, Steve, you finished 5th. Happy with your performance? Not happy with your performance?
I'm going to have to say both, really. Happy that I finished that high because, I mean, most of the top players have, what's your best finish? And it's usually one of the majors, and then it's a dash beside where you finished in the majors. So, 5th place at Pinburg is 90 whatever points. So that's by far my highest finish, my highest point get.
Yeah, congrats, dude. That's good.
So that felt great. I mean, of course, before that I had Pinball Expo was my best finish, which is Pinball Expo, which I guess some time ago was considered the 5th major, although it's not anymore.
Used to be.
It's not now. I mean, I won it. Now it isn't. I mean, what happened? But at least I have that there. So that part made me pretty happy, but then also not pleased at all. We were becoming, one ball away from full vindication to getting to a top 4 in a major. So that, I mean, it was right there, and I couldn't get it twice. So that also made it disappointing. And I'm kind of glad they had that epic game on Paragon, and they took all the attention. That was fine with me.
Yeah, it was a blast.
Yeah, speaking of the epic game on Paragon, Josh Sharp finishing for all intents and purposes in the same spot. How did that make you feel?
It's awful. It's just awful. I will say the only thing that makes me feel okay is the round before I played on the games that Keith ended up choosing for finals, and I got a 12 in my group. So pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So I saw. I saw who was taking charge in that group because I was in the group with Josh.
So if I play those same games against Keith in the round that I got a 12, Keith would have beaten me 3 out of 4 games.
Oh my gosh!
So
okay. Wow.
The winning the major probably wouldn't have happened anyway, but it certainly would have been nice to make another final.
This Keith Elwin guy, pretty good pinball player.
He's not bad.
I've heard of him. Yeah, he's amazing.
I get stuck into offering incorrect strategies while watching him play. I guess that's my new job on the commentary.
Oh, which game was that? Which one were you commenting on?
I don't know. All of them, probably.
It was funny, during the qualifying rounds, I was 2 banks over from Keith, and I started whatever game we were playing, and I looked over at Keith on ball 2 on Godzilla, I want to say. We played our entire game, and I looked back over, and he was still on ball 2 of Godzilla after we had completed our game.
Gosh.
Oh.
Well, sometimes that's all. That's what it's about, just surviving and advancing. I mean, I survived my Keith group with a 7, so I was feeling good. Usually, previous Pinburgs, I'm in danger when I hit the Keith group and I get a 3 and that's it, and I'm climbing my way back. But just like in the finals, it's just all about surviving and advancing. I mean, when I was starting in the finals, I was in a group with Sean Grant, and Sean Grant was killing everything. And I sort of was like, yeah, so it's like Sean Grant is a designated butt kicker of this level, so I'm just going to make sure that I advance with him, get some seconds or whatever, and that's fine. And then the next round, the designated butt kicker in my group was one Mr. Josh Sharp. And so I saw that, and I said, okay, let's try and survive and advance with Josh as he twirls everything. Let me get seconds and strategically advance. But I couldn't do it the third time in the Keith group, so I couldn't quite get it done. Tried, but didn't quite get it done.
So in the semifinals we referenced earlier, Steve pulled the Keith group for the semifinals with Fred Richardson and Raymond Davidson, and you had Keith advancing with a 10 points there, and Steve and Raymond tied with 7 to play a tiebreaker on Family Guy. Raymond took the tiebreaker, $17 million to $11 million. Tell me about the tiebreaker there.
All right, tiebreaker ended with basically a lot of missed shots and bad recovery. But during what I guess you guys didn't see was that during the tiebreaker, I went into Stewie Pinball. You're supposed to get your points in Stewie, right? And so my second shot in Stewie Pinball, the ball gets stuck. The small ball gets stuck, and I can't get it out. Yeah. The little small captive, I don't even know what you call it, the small Stewie ball.
Was it stuck on the apron or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a post lowest shot apron stuck, watch the timer count down, and that's it. And so the flow is broken, and then I couldn't recover. Missing the ramp, paying for it like I'm supposed to. So that sort of broke everything out. I was like, I'm going to get Stewie Pinball. Let's get back in the game, but alas, no, did not advance. But
who picked that game?
The random chance picked it, I think.
Random, yep, okay.
But that's fifth place is fine, and I guess being mentioned of being in the final by Bowen mistakenly once, that was cute. But he said, I was like, "What? I'm in the final? What? Excuse? Oh no, I'm over here watching." Okay, but still fun. I mean, Pinburg is the greatest pinball tournament, so that's it. You don't need any qualifiers. That's it. So that's fifth place out of 600 and whatever it was. Felt pretty good about that.
In the other semifinal, we had a group of Josh, Chris Stevens, Robert Gagno, and Carl D'Angelo, another great group of players. You had Chris advance with a 9 and a 3-way tie with 5s. Josh, I believe, is the only one that didn't take a 0 out of the 3s, so he got points in all 4 games. You guys pulled high hand for your 3-way tiebreaker. Tell me about that.
Wow.
We don't
Do you want to?
What position did you play on that?
We don't use expletives in this.
Yeah, no.
Then I have nothing to say.
You were player 3, correct?
I was. For my seating got me choice of waiting to die a little longer.
And this is a single player game.
Yes, it was.
So you got to see the other guys post. Robert put up 31,000. Carl put up 43,900.
Yes.
Now, when you see 43,900, do you think that's attainable?
I know I'm dead.
Woo!
Really?
43,900 on high hand. Is it high hand where you have to where if you don't go down the out lane, you don't get bonus?
I'm like, if both of these guys get over 20, I am probably in for a lot. That game is just been the bane of my existence forever.
Wow.
I can't find the hole in the center when I need it ever.
On the plunge?
No. So if you complete any of the 4 banks of drop targets, complete like a suit, every time you either drain, I probably should have started trying to like Shats and drain down the out lanes on purpose.
Exactly.
You get 1,000 for each target down if you have all 4 down, and 100 for any target down for banks that you don't have all 4 down. So if you can somehow, I think I didn't see Keith's game where he put up 160,000 or whatever, but I guess he was just shooting directly into the center hole from the flippers at the bottom. Like, just shooting free throws.
Wow.
And yeah, I can't do that. It's unbelievable.
Because there's a pop bumper right above that hole.
There is, but it's just a shallow hole and just go like, it's like well, you're a golfer. It's like shooting a 4-foot putt and like slamming it in.
Yeah.
And like more often than not, you're going to hit the back of the cup and it'll bounce out or, lip around or do whatever.
All right, so you didn't feel good about going into that. And
I didn't. I wanted whatever. There's 12 games on the stage. I would have rather played any of the other 11.
Interesting.
Even Doodlebug? Wow, dude.
I would have loved Doodlebug.
Doodlebug was awesome to me, so I have no complaints about Doodlebug. Doodlebug fixed me. I had complaints about my EMs all weekend, and Doodlebug said, "Hey, we're going to pay you back for all the stuff that happened to you." So I was like, "Okay."
I wanted another chance to be able to get the Doodlebug humping while my ball was stuck with the post up, just so we could figure out what that really would be. Man.
50 points! Yay! 30 seconds worth of points, maybe?
Yeah, I know, right?
Whatever 30 seconds worth of these hundreds is.
It's funny at these big tournaments. I notice there will often be these random games that sort of become the star of the stage, if you will. And this year it was definitely Doodlebug.
Alien Star, was back this year, but that had the pop-up where it was sort of like, unveiled, and everyone now loves it, and blah, blah, blah. Doodlebug, man, the little humping mechanism is so awesome.
Doodlebug prices shooting through the roof
That's
right
right.
now around
Exactly.
the country.
Especially when you get it started, and now you have no idea what score you have because it's counting hundreds. But then all of a sudden, I started getting the Doodlebug doodling at 13,000. Woke up with 43, and I'm like, okay, all right, cool. That's what I have now. Okay, fine. I mean, so yeah, that's the next cult classic, right? In the TX Sector series of cult classics, right? Doodlebug adds its name to the annals of history.
See, and you know why High Hand sucks? Because it hasn't joined that list, and people would be talking about how awesome it was if it was awesome, but it's not. It sucks.
That's great. It's fantastic. So speaking about games up on the stage and getting sort of highlighted, what did you guys think, players who played a bunch on the stage at Pinburg, with the new layout, with the stage? Did you feel that the stage imparted any effect on the play of the game?
It did for me a little. I mean, I got used to it once. I know it did for Doodlebug. I was playing Doodlebug, and whatever game was next to me, there was definitely some movement happening, and I could feel it on my end. So, but I just said, okay, let's go with it. Whatever happens, just please don't tilt, okay? Because I don't want to just have to deal with a tilt with it because of more movement. But it wasn't moving like crazily out of hand, but it was there. I mean, it was noticeable. I mean, not enough for me to complain about it.
Totally agree.
So you felt a little bit too, Josh?
I did. I think, obviously they've already talked about trying to find a way to make it a little bit more stable. I think it was just definitely weird as other people walked up or nudged or do whatever. You could just feel it. I'd say it was less annoying than the Expo glare when that comes on you.
Good call, Josh.
I'm used to dealing with or growing up with Zach. We would just play psych out matches where we'd be getting as close to each other as possible without touching while we were kids, trying to get each other to mess up. That it was fine, my minor distraction, but I'm never really that focused that I can be drawn away and be disturbed by that distraction. So it's fine.
Did you guys like the idea of having a stage that's really up and you have to make the walk?
I thought that was great, except for the school play feel of it. I mean, it did kind of feel like I was on stage at the Christmas play. But then once I got used to that, it was okay. I mean, the long walk up the Green Mile to get to your next
I felt worse for the B division guys because every time I was walking up the side, Escher always seemed to be playing, and I'm just like, hey man. He's like, hey. Every time I was walking around the stage.
Yeah, I guess that was part of it. I mean, because with Family Guy close to that ramp, if someone was playing Family Guy, I would stop or try to walk slow or something so that I'm not disturbing the person playing Family Guy who's right there. But I mean, other than that, that long walk up the ramp, you're preparing yourself. It almost has that wrestling feel to it, But I mean, once you get up there, at finals it didn't really matter. So you're just up there and just playing. I didn't even notice I was on stage, just trying to survive with Doodlebug. Just please hit a target, please hit a number, please hit a bumper. I don't care. Please hit something.
I noticed that during those semifinals, you guys were both pretty open to talking to not just me. I was actually trying to leave you guys alone a little bit, but lots of people were coming up talking to you in between games. What's your overall take on, that when you're in a high pressure tournament and you're in the middle of it and there's just random people who you know very well or maybe know a little bit trying to discuss strategy or how'd you do? Or do you like that? Does it take the edge off, or would you rather be alone?
I don't care. I don't really care about it that much. I mean, especially if I'm not on the stage. I mean, it's not anything I can do about it now. I mean, I'm on the floor. If you want to talk about stuff, that's fine. I mean, in general, sometimes I zone in, but it really doesn't bother me that much. I don't think so. I mean, I guess the people ask me, well, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do next? And sometimes my answer is, I don't know, because I really don't know. I don't remember where I am now. Like in game progression, I forgot. I'm down here. I have no idea where I am until I get back up there and look at the lights and see where I am. I literally don't know until I get back up there. So I'm just gonna try to survive based on what the other scores are, and see my strategy once I get up there. But I mean, if people want to talk, that's fine. I mean, I don't know. It's just
I'd never worry about that ever. And I mean, part of it probably comes from like running high level events that I also play in, that I'm just very used to, like, I don't know, not being so zoned in that like, don't talk to me right now. I'm focused on something. Like, I'm never focused on anything. I'm just enjoying myself. And if anybody wants to have a conversation about anything, it's like, nice. Oh, I'm up now. I'll be right back. And then it's like, I'll go up and I'll get dialed in when I go play. But if I'm not playing, I really don't care. For me, I mean, in between sessions and stuff, I was literally just watching like TV on my phone, trying to get through some shows that were taped at home, because I just wanted to make sure our DVR didn't fill up while I was gone for 5 days. So for me, it's all like, if I'm not up at the machine, I am easy breezy, beautiful cover girl.
Well, I guess you'd like to think that, I suppose.
And the ramp also helped with that too. It gives you that time also, to do whatever you want to do on the way up there, along with, helping the tilt bob settle without you standing there. I mean, that helps. So it helps get any tension that you might have out. But I mean, with me, I was like, hey, I'm close to the final. Let's go. Let's keep going and see if I can, just concentrate well enough to advance. But, it's fine. I really don't mind people talking, especially if someone's asking about a strategy or whatever. If I'm not playing directly against you, then fine. Let's talk about whatever you want.
Can this tournament get bigger? There were 680 something entrants in this. Do we see it go to 1,000 people?
Well, whatever. If 1,000 is the number put up there, then 1,000 people will register. The question is how many people.
And then 930 will play.
Right. There'll be about 900 in X, and then they'll take the wait list. And I guess maybe next year there'll be more people who are on the wait list who will show up, given that this year anybody who was sitting there on the wait list got in, right? I mean, isn't that kind of how it was?
It was, yeah.
We're finding people. They were calling people out. So I guess to get in. So I guess if you're on the wait list and you're thinking about going, you might get in this time. Just go. But even if it's 1,000, you'll get 1,000. There'll be 875 people that will be signed up, and the other 125 will be called from the wait list. And here we go. The question is going to be logistic. Like, how many games do you need to support 30% more? Right? Because if you're going from 700 to 1,000, is that how many more banks is that? Is that 4 people to a bank? I mean, that's kind of busting at the seams. Do we have to add more games, take more games away from the free play area? I guess it's doable. I guess just logistically, I have no idea how to figure that out. Just sitting here on a random night trying to figure that out.
See, there's us talking about next year's Pinburg. We are the
first. Running, the IFPA championship at like 1/10 the size of Pinburg, it makes me nauseous even just thinking about what those guys have to do to pull it off. Like, I actually just want to throw up for them.
Really, really well-run event. I mean, I haven't heard much negative about it from anyone. Any interesting rulings that either of you guys saw throughout the weekend?
Do you want to go first, Josh? I have one. I guess it was discussed on Tilt forums though. Now that I'm remembering, but you want to go ahead, Josh?
Like from me playing, nothing crazy. No, actually, through all 10 sessions, nothing.
I mean, I guess the strange thing that happened for me, it ended up benefiting me is I was in a group with Keith Johnson. We were playing Banzai Run.
Oh yes, I heard
And
that.
we were destroying the red shot, the red hot shot, and then all of a sudden the red hot shot stopped working during my ball, and that carried over to Keith's ball. It carried over to everyone really. But, he couldn't get red hot until he got the freestyle. So he had to work really hard to try and get to try and catch up to me. I had like 4 million. He was coming back with 2 million. He would have caught up. I mean, he would have got the million and all that. And he had got to the point where he was about to get it. But the amount of work for him to get back up there and do it was made very much harder with red hot not working. And so he just had to play through it. I mean, that was the only thing.
So just sort of a malfunctioning shot.
It was a malfunctioning shot that happened during the game. Yeah, yep. during my ball just stopped working, and so that affected play. But other than that, I don't really remember anything else that happened that was really strange.
Well, in the Tales from the Sea division, I'll cop to this one, and I noticed.
Anybody play at a turn, Nate?
Oh, come on. So, yeah, I saw that somebody posted on one of the forums, like, hey, so who's going to admit to playing at a turn at Pinburg? Because it did happen quite a few places, including my bank. I was playing Stars.
Oh, actually, hold on, stop. Before you get to that, I remember something now that I wasn't involved in, but Doug Polko was talking to me about, which it was awesome.
Yes.
And it had to do with a player that went missing.
Oh, okay.
But they showed up for the start of their session. So this is awesome. They play their first game or whatever, and if I'm butchering this or whatever, it's fine. So game 2, he's gone. And it's like, oh, okay, he's gone. So they call tournament director, and it's like, well, what do we do? He's not here anymore. But he was here, so it's not like we started the group with 3 players. So, the ruling is they get put on the clock for 3 minutes, and then their ball gets plunged. And the tournament director, the game that was being played was Taxi, and the missing players' plunged balls from the tournament director did not finish in last place.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
And then the guy came back for he missed a game and hey, what's up? I'm back. I was trying to sandbag. Well, you got third. What? Are you kidding me? I got third. He did not say that. But
no.
We ended up, I think we're going to change the rule where if you're missing, you are DQ'd for the game.
It's just a 0. Yeah.
It is just a 0.
Yeah, because that gets to a serious gray area.
Yeah. And then it's is the tournament director who's doing it your buddy? I can hook you up with some 100,000 skill shots? Or
is it full plunge? Is it no plunge? Is it what kind of plunge does the tournament director have to use?
So I thought that was extremely entertaining. But go ahead, Nate.
No, that's really it. No, please let me make a fool of myself. So we were in the set that was, I think it was actually, I remember it was Metallica, Mars Trek, Space Station, and Stars.
Great set.
Nice. Yeah, cool set of games. And I'm on Stars. I want to say it was the first game we played. And I was in... Let me get this straight. I was in 3rd place, or maybe 4th place, going into the final ball. And I was the 4th player. And... Because I must have just drawn that, because clearly I didn't get a 0 on the game before. So I was the 4th player, and... needed, I think, about 50,000 to catch the player ahead of me, and 80,000 to get to the lead, something like that. Doable.
Okay, not bad.
So I plunge. I step up to the game after player 3 gets done with his ball, and he was now just a little bit ahead of me. And so I plunge, and I hit a couple shots, and I think, okay, I'm doing well, I'm looking up. So I go to glance up at the scoreboard just to see how much progress I've made, and my score has not moved.
Oh, no. Yeah.
And so I just, immediately, I just stepped back. I just stepped off the game. I'm like, well, I did something wrong here, and then I see the lit, because Stars was really, the lights were very, very dim as far as player 1, player 2, player 3, player 4. And I see that it's still lit for player 3. So I just step off and turn around, and everybody's like, what happened? And I'm like, I played out of turn. I DQ there. And they're like, no way. And I'm like, nope, that's a DQ for me because I know the rule really well. Two of the guys I was playing with were super nice, but you could tell had no idea what that rule was. They couldn't understand why I wasn't about to just play my ball 4. And one of the guys he kind of knew, but he was like, well, what do you want to do? I'm like, let's get a ruling, but that's a 0 for me. The problem was I had now put up enough points on. This was ball 2 possibly. So I'd put up enough points on player 3 to where he is right next to the guy ahead of him, like within 8,000 points. And the ruling is that I'm DQ'd, and player 3 now gets an extra ball
because with the points earned.
With the points earned.
Mm-hmm.
And was already.
Was he a buddy of yours? Is this collusion?
Collusion. Yeah, collusion.
I didn't know this guy, and so he now has these 2 other guys staring at him like, wait a minute. So you didn't beat us by your 3rd ball, and then Nate goes in and puts up enough points to get you within just a shot or 2 of us, and you're going to get an extra ball on top of that. And he was like, oh, no. And I just stepped back and let them discuss it. And what
You're like, you know what? This 0 is starting to look pretty nice compared to the other guys.
So he looks at me, and I think he actually said, he goes, can I just not play that? I'm like, hey, man, you can do whatever you want to do. I was like, we're in the C division. I don't think anybody really cares. And so he opted not to play his ball because he felt that wasn't right to take an extra ball.
Dude, that guy has some good pinball karma heading his way.
Yeah, you know what?
Really?
And it was funny because everyone's trying to figure out what happened because he had played his ball and gotten points, and there's no extra ball to be had on that game. And Dave Stewart was behind me, and I actually asked Dave, I said, what could have happened here? And he goes, that's a trough issue. The ball probably just had a trough issue and just jumped right back into the shooter
without
lane. Without advancing player. And it's, of course, on me. You have to be aware of that. But I wasn't thinking like that, and just jumped right in and plunged a ball that wasn't mine to plunge. So.
But it's fun,
you got to have just that right amount of paranoia every time you step up to the game.
Oh, I
You're probably not up. Like, you're probably not up. Every time I go up, I'm like, it's probably not my turn. It's probably not my turn. Oh, it looks like my turn, but it's probably not really my turn. Oh, okay.
Regarding that though, like, what if you have a game where the player lights aren't really working and that happens, and so you're sure it's your turn?
That happened to me. That happened to me at first Pittsburgh on an EM. I called the tournament director over and was like, I do not know if I'm up or not. I think I'm up, and I was allowed to play and not be DQ'd if it wasn't my player.
Because you couldn't tell because of malfunctioning lights on the machine.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So that makes sense.
I wish I could have claimed that. No, you know what? And it really, I almost took the 0 with a little bit of pride because, like you said earlier, I do play golf. And you have to self-police in these things.
Yep.
And I know that, one of the guys in that group knew exactly who I was and was telling me he liked the show and stuff. So I know I have an extra spotlight on me. So I actually just made it a positive in my head of like, look, take the 0 with pride and tell everybody it's a 0 on me. But I did feel that the other guy was in a weird spot because he had every right to have an extra ball added onto his score.
He did.
He did, yeah.
Because you know what? Those other guys, if they didn't want him catching up, they could have stopped you at any moment.
Yeah, well, and that's what the director said. It's not just Nate's fault. Everybody should be aware of who's playing where. Yep. So, I'm the guy that did the thing.
Well, like you're the guy that admitted doing the thing. I mean, everybody has a story, right? So everybody has a story of if only I had made this shot in round X, I would have had enough points to qualify for the playoffs.
So of course, I'm sitting there doing the math, trying to figure out how much I had scored on my ball, which was enough to get me at least 1 point. And if I hadn't just insta-drained, I probably could have gotten at least 2, which would have made me no better. Let's be real, right?
Which would have made me only 6 points out of qualifying for finals in C.
That's a lot of positions, man.
It could have popped me into B had I gotten 2 points there, or at least put me in a better position for B. The finals thing was, I played the same tournament 2 years in a row. I literally did the same thing. I played a really bad first round and a really bad 10th round, and eliminating myself from
way to bookend that experience.
Yeah, bad 9th round too. I think my 9th and 10th were just bad, so it's all right. Crumbling under pressure. That's what I do. So,
all right. It'll be
But
all
really,
right.
were you feeling the pressure, or were you okay?
no, I was okay. I was actually
All right,
playing good.
that's good.
Oh, all right.
I
Then
got
it's different.
straight up outplayed a lot of times. A lot
All
of the
right.
games where I like just got beat, it was because people were just better than I was and just hitting shots that I wasn't hitting. No, I think that in my final round, I was playing with a bunch of really good guys. I knew one of them, Don, Burning Man on Pinside, who's involved with the Dutch pinball folks. I knew him, so I was totally relaxed. We got up, and now I can't even remember what the game was that we played. It was on the stage. It was Force 2 was the first game we played. And I think I rolled it and then put up another 800,000 or whatever it was. I put up, I think, 5 times what the next closest guy had to me on that game. So I got the 3, and I needed 11 or 12 to qualify at this point because I'd played such a bad 9th round. Mm-hmm. And so I put up the 3 points, and I walked away thinking, okay, I just crushed that game. I can do this. I can run this. I can get 12.
Right.
And then I immediately got a 0 on Batman Dark Knight.
Oh, Batman. Oh, man.
Just immediately. And I was just like, no, I can't do this. I cannot do this. So it's such is life. I had a great time. That's what's really important.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
I had to watch the finals on my phone sitting in the airport because I was trying to get home in a hurry. Still ended up getting stuck in Dallas that night due to delayed flights, so I didn't get home even though I left Saturday instead of Sunday morning. And I heard on the broadcast, one Mr. Josh Sharp, creating his new catchphrase on the fly.
Oh, God.
Not like this, not like this, oh God, not like this, expletive, expletive.
Explain this to me because
Not like this.
It's not on knowyourmeme.com, so I'm ignorant.
So,
So what
dude,
is this?
It's from The Matrix when
Right.
when the blonde-haired chick is about to get unplugged and die.
Mm-hmm.
So, Zach and I use that phrase all the time for all sorts of stuff. Like it's in our daily lexicon of choice words, to the point where when we get to talking about the Buffalo Pinball Open later, in the finals, Steve, when you guys were playing on Tycoon,
Right.
and Zach had Park Tycoon lit after ball 1, and then ball 2 he steps up, it's ready on the plunge. He accidentally, like you do on the third ball, accidentally
Right.
short plunges,
Right.
and then has it drains after
Right.
short plunging, and then he
Mhm.
walked back and texted me, not like this.
Okay.
So we find the perfect places to use it, and for me, Paragon, going up to that third ball at whatever 12,000, and it's the last ball of the tournament for me, and going up there and I'm walking up and I'm just like, I'm probably gonna get beasted in 2 seconds, and then I'm gonna go back and sit down and be eliminated with 20,000 on Paragon, and it's gonna be ridiculous, and I'm terrible and whatever. And I plunge, and the ball literally goes right over to the beast area, and that was just the natural are you kidding? This is happening right now.
Right.
And then
That's harsh. And then
maybe
the magic
maybe the phrase, maybe it unbeasted me, and I was able to work it a little bit.
I was confused because you were saying it, and I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, so not like this, but how do you want to? Is there a way that you're okay with losing here or draining here at least? But apparently it goes deeper than that.
But getting beasted on that thing would have just been icing on the cake for me. Maybe it would have been better than high hand. I don't know. But the phrase is something Zach and we use so often, but it is probably the first time I've ever said it out loud. But our texts are mostly not like this usually.
That's funny. All right. Well, how'd your dad do? Roger Sharp came and played Pinburg again. I think he's claimed for the second year in a row this will be the last time he's there. I'll believe it when I see it next year. How'd he do?
That's a good question. Let's look. He qualified an A last year, and then this year it was obviously the big talk of this being his last year. And I asked him, are you more likely to come back if you qualify an A again because you just have solidified that you could do it and then you can retire? Or are you more likely to come back if you do really terrible? And we're going to find out what happens after he does really terrible, because he did really terrible.
411th.
411.
He'll be back. Revenge.
I have a feeling he might be back.
Yeah.
We'll see.
You can't leave that on the table. Can't leave that on the board. Yeah. Come back.
One interesting thing that I realized after the second day of qualifying, I believe Adam Lefkoff and I had the same amount of points through qualification. But he was restricted to A, so...
he had quite a
harsh.
and what was awesome was I had a chance to talk with him, and we joke all the time about people not taking responsibility for their drains, and the only reason why you're doing bad is you must be getting screwed.
Well, of course.
And he was just like, I'm playing okay, having some tough breaks, and it's like, man, to just eat some humble pie on that. He owned it. He owned where he finished.
I think I'm wrong. I think he actually had one more qualifying point. He had 29. I had 28. So
that's rough.
Yeah.
That's rough.
29 actually doesn't put him into. Oh, it does put him into. No, it does not put him into B. It puts him into C. All right. Wrapping that up, let's move on to the Buffalo Pinball Summer Open, which Steve Bowden had a nice showing in. I saw a top 4 finish. I saw a Coast to Coast Pinball t-shirt. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Talk to me about Buffalo. It looked like a nice event.
Well, it certainly was a very nice event. I mean, I guess the spotlight was a little bit on them just for them to show up and put on a good event, and they did do that very much. Very, very well won. 2 classics events and a main tournament. Herb style best game all the way around, but and it was good. A nice selection of games, and Roller Coaster Tycoon was also there. But yeah, as far as my own finish, 4th place, fine, but also disappointing. With lots of, I guess, not like this is 3 of them on all 3 of my finals games. So, not a way to exit, but it's fine. I get to take 50 more points with me, 50 more circuit points, and just vanish them into thin air. There they go. They're gone. No one can get them.
Any interesting tidbits from the finals with yourself, Zach Sharp, Alberto Santana, a fellow New York area player, and Trent Augustine, who ended up winning?
All right, well,
Trent Wolverine.
Trent destroyed. But I guess with semifinals, we can go with our first not collusion, right, Josh?
Yes.
I was very surprised to see, once I guess Alberto had his last ball, and if he passed me, then I'd be eliminated in 5th place. And then, I realized that me and Levy were talking about that. And
were you guys were aware of it as it was going down?
I was aware of it halfway through his balls. Like, I'm not quite through yet, so we might have a tiebreaker, we might not.
Was this the Avatar game?
But then I was, I was disappointed to see in the chat mentions of collusion. I'm like, wow, really? Oh, okay. I'm quite sure he's playing to the best of his ability.
You still ended up with double his score.
Well, yeah. But if he could have passed me, of course he can do it. It's Avatar.
Sure.
All he had to do was pass me, and I'd be out. So and just to see that any possibility of collusion was kind of disappointing.
It's always floating.
That's surprising, but I guess maybe it isn't surprising.
All right, so after your friend cheated and got you into the finals, then what happened?
That's not what happened.
He didn't, which got him
to a tiebreaker.
Oh, right. You're right. I'm sorry. Yes,
on Spider-Man with lightning flippers
with Levy, right?
Yeah, Spider-Man lightning flippers. No,
and he tanked, right? You beat him good.
I decided to flip that coin. I had the choice. So I was like, I'm going to take Spider-Man with the lightning flippers and hope I can do one more post catch than he can, because that would be the difference.
Did you play it at all? Because it wasn't in qualifying, right?
No, I only played it when it was in the practice bank with actual flippers and a guide to help you shoot.
Do you get 30-second practice on it or anything, or like with the lightning flippers, or you played it blind?
I just played it. I think we just played it. Well, I mean, we got the practice during we got our normal practice, like before you start the finals, we got that practice.
Oh, okay.
We did that. So we got that. But, it was in the practice bank earlier in, like before finals. It was just sitting over there in easy mode, But when you put it in the finals, you got no rubbers, no upper right lane guide so that the venom shot is terrible, and lightning flippers. So
I'll tell you what, man, that was the Papa one on the stage was the first time I played it without the gate on that upper right, and does that mess up? It messed up my world at least.
It's vicious. Yeah, I mean,
you can't count on that consistent feed off the wall.
Exactly.
Oof.
I mean, it makes you think about just letting it go through to catch it on the right flipper, and then.
But even that, because that's what I did them when we had the Pinburg practice. I tried just letting it go down just to live catch if I ever needed to bonus out or whatever, and it was not coming down consistently to a live trap. It's just like, oh. It's not clean.
Because that slingshot is right there to mess with it, and you can't hit it too much because the tilt was set reasonably tight. So I ended up just going for it. I tried to stack, and the right orbit didn't really work. So, like, I had the third locklet to stack both the Doc Ock and the black suit, and I shot it thinking I was stacking, and it ended up not working. So I ended up straddling. I straddled instead of stacked, which worked out fine because I can.
Sometimes that's better.
Yeah, it's better. I ended up pounding on Sandman and Green Goblin for millions. Just hit him for $1 million. So I had one good ball and got my 50 million. So that was it, and that advanced me.
You did, yeah. You had 59 million on that game, and Levy had 9.5 million. So it just didn't give him decent control of it. I mean, I ended up doing one more post catch and a little bit of shimmying down the right in lane to get it to stop enough where I could grab the ball with the right flipper. Just not enough to get a warning, but enough to slow the ball down so I could backhand do some more Doc Ock free throws that way. And so it worked out enough for me to advance just to get that one ball. I mean, because my ball 1 and 3 were garbage. So, I only remember that ball 2, I guess it was, when I was able to stack enough. So the door was open for you in the finals. You're playing Walking Dead. You're player 4. And I believe if you had won the game, now,
right.
Granted, Alberto put up...
Which means the door was not open at all.
Oh, no kidding. Alberto built a brick wall in front of the door.
The doors were open on the 2 previous games. But
then Alberto put up 450 million.
Yeah.
The 2 previous games, I had doors open, and I did not walk through them, so that ended my tournament. Alberto destroyed with 400 and whatever it was, and like, how is this man living through all these dice rolls? He's living through each and every one of these dice rolls that I'm draining on. This is ridiculous, and then of course I end with a failed shot, as you do. But that was amazing when he put up that 400. That was impressive. That was impressive. That was just play on the fly, take the shots as you can, and get it done. Fantastic job by him.
Good work. It's a nice top 4 finish. Congratulations.
I'll take it. Like I said, that's more circuit points that are in the ether. Bye-bye.
Let's talk about assisted death save. Talk to me, somebody.
All right. So I guess from what I didn't do most of my homework on this, right? So the assisted death save is on Avatar.
This was Avatar with the captive ball.
Yeah.
Okay, so the assisted death save is when you're about to die and you have a ball in the link shot and you have one link to go. You shove the game really hard to get that last link shot to start multi-ball before you drain. Yes?
Yes.
So that's basically it. And I guess the question is that legal?
Is that legal if the ball has already passed an outlane switch on the left or right?
Sounds just as legal as Dracula, so I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe because you have the Dracula missed ball. So if you shove the crap out...
Yeah, I mean, Nate, your comment of, like, is it legal after it passes an outlane? There is no verbiage that ever mentions a ball passing the outlane switch having to do with anything.
Totally agree.
So like, sort of, it's top forums for anyone that wants to read the thread about it. But yeah, you can't enforce if someone's going to nudge, you can't really enforce the intent of that nudge or the timing of that nudge in relation to where a ball is at a given point in time, making a move legal sometimes and illegal other times.
Unless you're talking about a death save, though.
Right, but that's an explicit, like, illegal move, but that's not illegal sometimes. That's illegal all the time. You
cannot hit a machine in a way to push a ball back.
It's illegal all the time unless, I could see a case where a ball rockets down at 900 miles an hour, comes back through the center, and the person looks like they moved the game because they were scared out of their mind. And the ball comes back.
That's not a death save. That's a Lazarus. And that's where, as Nate brought up earlier by playing out of turn, like golf, we play a game that is heavily reliant on honesty and self-policing of players. So if someone didn't impact the ball in play as the ball was draining, like, I would trust their judgment. If they don't think they did. If they do think they did, they should call themselves on it.
Right.
Full stop.
Some people are arguing about whether or not you should be able to sort of influence a ball that's like the captive ball. That's not your ball, and that really became a question. And I don't see how you could ever stop somebody from doing this, and without having somebody literally standing over the game watching it all the time anyway. Because if I do it during a multi-ball, how would you ever know that that's what if you got balls going all over the playfield and I push the game and start it and hit that, just like you would with another ball you might have in play where you give it a bump to knock it up somewhere.
Yeah, this is still the Dracula principle, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
when you talk about Avatar, you could shove the game and get a super jackpot with the ball on the link. I mean,
A double
super, right? You could have a 12 million double super nudge if you have the presence of mind. So,
Steve, were you guys aware of that while you guys were playing, like during qualifying and whatever? Like,
I wasn't. I mean, I had to be made re-aware of it as I was thinking of it. It wasn't something I remembered as I was playing Avatar.
Because Zach and I were talking about it and wondering if you had it lit for 12, would you try to do the shake and risk tilting, even though you were still in multi-ball, so your ball wouldn't have ended if you let the timer go? Is the nudge worth 12 million?
I would have to know where I am, where I am in the game, how much am I trailing? Like all of this presence of mind, I would have to bring forward to that. Like if I'm down by 9 million and this ball 3, let's roll the dice.
But again, shake it, and give it a shot.
Yeah, but then I have to realize all that, which I probably don't. I probably don't realize.
Now, when we're saying it's like Dracula, we're talking about like knocking the missed multi-ball off.
Ball. Yeah, like shoving it so that the ball falls down off the magnet, and then the game's like, what? Oh, and you move on.
Is this legal or not?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's legal. So you are influencing a ball that is not your main ball in a way by hitting the machine.
Well, it's your ball. I mean, you're playing the game. I mean, what do you mean by saying your ball, though?
Well, exactly. I agree. It's a ball that's in the game.
It's a ball that's in. Like, even if a ball is locked by someone else and you step up. If I'm playing Space Shuttle and the person in front of me has a sling lock and they drain, now that's my ball in there because I'm playing the game. So,
well, let me take it one farther. Should bang backs and death saves ever be legal?
Never.
I don't think so. But how do we?
Never.
Well, I don't think so. I just want to.
To me, the big thing is so many people. So bang backs, so many people don't know how to do them, and will try to do them, and someone will hurt themselves. For real, hurt themselves.
Yeah, they're hurt.
For death saves, it's easier to do than a bang back, but people still don't know how to do them right, and then you're encouraging games sliding all over the place and into each other. If the game next to you, the guy's doing the death save at the same time another guy's doing
broken fingers ensue.
It makes for chaos.
Now, Josh, that I can agree with. I'm trying to find some alternate thing. What do you say to people who say that the tilt bob is the governor?
It is.
So if that would make a death save okay,
what's awesome here, it's amazing. Death saves are illegal because we say they're illegal.
Uh-huh.
Wasn't there some sort of quirk where you actually in your rules you wrote that the machine had to be moved a certain direction, so if I could do it the other direction, it's technically legal?
I think that was I couldn't find, and I have to make a note to myself to update the verbiage because all we do in the rules is say a death save's illegal. We don't explain what it is, which I think led to this confusion of like Bowen thought a death save meant something that I didn't think it meant, and I didn't know that before this came to light. But I copied and pasted Papa's how-to death save video.
Right, yeah. That's basically what I did for the dictionary. Yeah, that's basically what I did. I was like, that's awesome.
And Mark's verbiage mentioned sliding it to the right.
Very good. Speaking of the pinball dictionary, funwithbonus.com.
Look at that
funwithbonus.com.
You're the best at that, man.
Woefully behind pinball dictionary.
Well, that's fine.
Here's trouble.
That's fine. I had a game at Pinburg where I was winning in my group on this game, and then watched the player in front of me, behind me's bonus get me. When his ball drained, he was not ahead of me. When his bonus counted up, he was ahead of me, and I immediately thought, effed by bonus.
Right, which was mentioned on Tilt forums, which is nice. I mean, was it close enough to be an ace or a heartbreaker? I mean, it wasn't that close,
I don't
right?
know. Yeah, I don't think it was that
Because that
close.
would be vicious.
I don't think it was.
Because I mean, those two words I just made up on my own. I mean, the ace and the heartbreaker stuff was just stuff that I was putting up.
Okay, well, talk to me about ace and heartbreaker since we need to do a pinball dictionary segment here.
I mean, well, I don't know when I put these up, but I figure. I mean, there were games that were being played so close. I was trying to figure out, okay, how you describe someone getting just totally, just coming up just short, and then someone just passing the score. So I'm like, what's that going to be? What am I judging? And it was arbitrarily when I said 1%, and that arbitrarily became an ace because of 1. So that's kind of how it worked in my mind. So that just sort of organically started being used in the Northeast enough to where I justified keeping it there. And so, I mean, by the way, I mean, the gates are about to get flung open on the dictionary. I mean, I just can't keep up with it. So I'm going to have to just start posting everything. And it's going to be bad. I mean, I'm going to have some sort of like double secret probation list where things are allowed to be taken off due to lack of use or something, because there are so many that I mean, I would have posts from now until Christmas, and so if I decide to take this on, if I decide to take this Sisyphean task, that's what's going to have to happen. So you might look in the dictionary and see some weird things happening, like some buttons in the wrong place.
I think there's a way we can do this simply. I think we need a panel that has a certain amount of votes, and we do it quarterly or yearly.
It's going to jump the shark when someone comes up with a pinball dictionary term for coming up with a pinball dictionary term.
Right, yeah, and that's where they'll use my name, and then that's it.
Right.
The person like me who tries to avoid proper names, and then and the circle is complete, and we're done.
That's funny.
That's it. Oh, man.
Very good. Looking through funwithbonus.com, which is Steve's website, his site that he posts on every day, has something to do with pinball. Our most recent 2 posts, we have the Domino Domination. This is referencing Spooky Pinball and Domino's Pizza's new machine, the Domino's Pinball Adventure game. Yeah. Apparently this music is very catchy.
Yeah, it was bad. All day today. Whenever today is, I guess we're not revealing the date, but whatever today is that was released, yeah, the music is too catchy. It's such a short stanza, and it was stuck in my head all day today. It sounds like every game show ever in the 80s. And so it's that catchy. I don't know if I'm going to...
the song is actually called The Ballad of the Noid.
Oh,
I just made that up. I don't know.
Okay, you know what? That would make sense. Let's make that a thing, because yeah, that is too catchy. I want that theme, like walking down the street, just like you're having a great day and you're going to go buy some pizza at your, I guess, Domino's. I mean, and you're hearing that.
Do people in the New York, New Jersey area eat Domino's pizza? Is that a thing up there? I can't imagine. No offense to Domino's, but just, it's New York City.
I don't often, but I mean, I say I'm in Jersey.
So. I do, because I'm in California where there is no good pizza, so I get Domino's.
Okay. Wow, nice. But hey, big up to Spooky on Domino's Zombie Pinball Spectacular Adventureland, whatever it is. I mean, it looks like a good game. Looks like a good game.
It does.
Looks like a great game. Hey, represent. So I guess Domino's is going to be selling this. Well, they're selling it through. I don't know, but hey, that's good. It seems like it played well.
Speaking of new games, you also said you have a Game of Thrones Premium sitting in a box.
Yeah,
in your place, unopened.
Dude,
it's the one I won from
Expo.
Yeah,
Nice.
And so I got it. When I ended up getting it much later, I mean, there's a Game of Thrones en route, so I'd rather go there and play it and support the operator there at my local arcade. And just leave it sort of...
Dude, you have a Schrodinger's cat, because are your inserts ghosting or not?
I don't know.
You won't know unless you open the box.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm sort of cheating my next... I started on my way up to the Buffalo event, no less than 2 separate long podcasts talked about ghosting. So I'm like, okay, what kind of a problem is this? If this is a 5% problem, then at Expo, essentially, I reached into a bag with 100 marbles. 5 of those marbles are red. I grabbed one and I'm holding it in my hand. And I have not opened my hand yet. When I open my hand, will that marble be red? And
you can't open it ever.
I can't open it. It has to stay at Schrodinger's mini playfield, right?
I haven't seen a Game of Thrones with ghosting inserts. Have you guys?
Oh, I don't know. I guess I don't know.
I've never seen a game with ghosted inserts in person yet. So
yeah, I haven't noticed it yet. It's like that thing you can't unsee. Like I saw it, right? And so now when I play a game, I'm going to be slightly looking for it. It's like one of those things you don't unsee.
I've played 2 Ghostbusters since this kind of became a thing. Neither one of them had it. And Teresa was asking me, what on earth are you doing? Because I was almost laying on this Ghostbusters, trying to look at the inserts, and none of them were ghosting. They were all fine.
With a magnifying glass. Yeah, let's put it underneath let's get the evidence. Let's CSI. Let's enhance, zoom and enhance. Do we have ghosting?
Well, I just figured if I played it, talked about it on the show that I played it, somebody else plays it, sees that it's ghosting, then I'd get accused of being in the bag with Stern. You didn't call out the ghosting inserts.
Collusion. More
collusion. I know. It's all about collusion. All right. Well, check out funwithbonus.com to see what's going on in the mind of Mr. Steve Bowden.
Man, it's my strange mind. Yeah, you see the post there. I am seriously, the music got stuck in my head. I had mixed that music with the Fresh Your Luck music, and it sounded close enough for me to actually make an effort and do a mashup. It really does.
It'll be a part of Pitch Perfect 3.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. Maybe I can use that music to help me feel the flow, right? And be in the zone, right?
Okay, you got to fill me in. To feel the flow in the zone. I don't get the joke. I don't understand.
Josh, do you wanna introduce? This is glorious.
You take it. You experienced it before I did. Zach and I walked in on like a bad porn movie. Walked in like, Steve, are you okay? You want us to call the police, or should we stay, or should we go?
All right, so support me, Josh. Support me as I
will, because I went through it too. I went through it after you. So
good, because I was wondering if I was the only one that.
No, he took me to the same place, man.
Okay, so ESPN, all right? Yes, that ESPN, right? TV or whatever.
Entertainment, sports, blah blah blah.
Yeah, that one. Okay, sent representatives to Pinburg to for publicity and whatever they would do, and so I get pulled aside. Do you want to go to this room and do an interview for ESPN? Why not? Of course. Nice. Okay, so we do the interview, and during the interview, the gentlemen there who are representing it or taking pictures or doing whatever, have the interview and they talk about feeling the flow and being in the zone. What does that mean in pinball? And so I start discussing what it feels like when I'm in the zone, which I don't really know of, because when it happens, I'm literally not conscious until I realize it's over. I mean, the few times it's happened, like say 300 million on Avengers or 3.2 billion on The Shadow, when I do Vengeance for 5 minutes and don't miss a ramp, I don't realize until it's over. And so I'm explaining all this stuff. And then, he talks about, feeling the flow and feel that flow, and we're going to take pictures of you and close your eyes. And I'm standing there.
Standing there, and so Zach and I walk in because it was our scheduled time, and it's pitch black in this room. And Steve is standing there with his eyes closed and his arms out with this guy with a video camera like right up against his face. And Zach and I are just like, we looked at each other and it's like, we're just going to sit down over here in the corner and make sure Steve's okay.
Oh man, yeah, this is exclusive coverage of what's going on in a separate room at Pinball. Everybody else is playing, and we're
and Steve's in a dark room feeling the flow.
Zach and
in a dark room, yeah, we're in a dark room.
We're not eating our gaucho because we're watching Steve maybe get molested,
right?
And waiting to have our own turn at it.
Right. So I'm standing there, and the gentleman is like, okay, now close your eyes and feel the flow, and now you look down at your feet.
What's your favorite machine?
What's your favorite?
Okay, you're standing in front of it right now. It's like, okay, man, I'm standing in front of it right now. Then,
and everything else is quiet. Like, so I understand. He's like, feel the flow, feel it.
And I think because he asked me like what my favorite game was, and I said Cyclops, and then like later when we were sitting there, I don't know whatever game you told him was your favorite game, but he's like, all right, you're standing in front of, and he used your game, and I'm like, okay, I'm standing in front of Twilight Zone. That's fine. He's like, that's not your game, is it? I'm like, that's not the game I told you, but I can fake stand in front of anything if you want.
So there's no pinball machine in this dark room.
No, he explained. I'm like, and I was like, dude, what's your angle? Like, what are you doing with this? And I guess
I couldn't even ask that. I was just like wondering because while I'm standing there, okay, feeling the flow and being in the zone, which was essentially me trying not to laugh because I start going at my own thoughts, and part of my own thoughts while I'm standing there, like looking down and then looking up, is like, wait a minute, this is ESPN. This is like when those football players, like when they introduce themselves during the starting lineups, like DeBrickashaw Ferguson from Northeast West South Wake.
If you watch University, it's like the heel skit.
Yeah, and then they look at this. They look at you real mean with that look, like Marshawn Lynch, the U, and then they give you that look. I'm like, that's what this is. So I realized that during it, and I'm just trying not to laugh. I'm just trying, And Josh and Zach are looking at me, and I'm like, oh please, let me be in the zone, which is essentially me standing there the same way I'm going to stand there. And oh man, that was.
Let's just be real clear on one thing, Steve. Marshawn Lynch went to Berkeley.
Yeah, I don't know where he went to. I just picked stuff out of my thin air. I don't know where he went to.
Berkeley.
Okay. All right. So Marshawn Lynch, Cal Berkeley, represent wherever you went to, and then you give that bad look. So
Tecmo Bowl University.
Yeah, Tecmo Bowl University, Madden 16. So I'm like, oh, this is what this is.
Has this aired anywhere? I want to see everyone feeling the flow.
I don't know.
I don't think yet.
But it's out there.
So they're gonna like transition between like showing game shots and like showing a close up of Steve with his eyes closed for some reason. Because I know when I'm in the zone while playing, I often close my eyes for extended periods of time while I'm up at the machine.
Playing pinball with the ball that you need to see constantly.
That's a bad idea. Yeah, closing your eyes, bad idea.
But hey, it was ESPN, I guess. I mean, that was cool. But yeah, a lot of it was trying not to laugh. But then I left and like, yeah, okay, that happened. Awesome, excellent. I hope everyone did this. I started wanting to ask people, hey, did you go to the ESPN room? Did you feel the flow and be in the zone and stuff? Just so I can know that I wasn't the only one.
I was in the zone.
Okay, good.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. All right.
That happens. So that's exclusive to Wide World of Pinball, the inside baseball of being in the flow for ESPN and them asking.
That's how they make the sausage, man.
Oh, man. And those players have to do that every week?
Jeepers, I say. Let's move on to what's happening at IFPAPinball.com. Josh Sharp, president of the International Flipper Pinball Association. We want you join the official Stern Army. Josh, why should I join the official Stern Army?
Because it's going to be awesome, and you want to help expand pinball and help Stern expand Stern Pinball and help the IFPA by expanding IFPA tournaments. It's win, win, win all the way around.
All right, so give me the pitch. What are we trying to do here? What are the nuts and bolts of this thing?
So a lot of, at least at Raw Thrills, the idea kind of came from what we do at Raw Thrills with our Big Buck Hunter game. We have a program that's called the Game Warden program, and a lot of it is what we're doing at the IPA already, but the Game Warden program was an official way for a manufacturer of a product, in this case, us at Raw Thrills, manufacturing Big Buck Hunter, leveraging a player base out there to sort of join the Raw Thrills family and help work on our behalf of spreading the word about the game by running tournaments for Big Buck Hunter and talking with locations about getting, Buck Hunter into locations and getting people to show up for tournaments and creating events and, trying to sell more games and connect, with them as a player. A lot of the times, and if transitioning that to pinball, like the tournaments that I've set up over the years at various locations, whether it's back in college or, more recently at Level 257 or the other arcades that are, here in Chicago, the relationships that I've formed, like Stern is looking to leverage those relationships. And it's a really good idea, at least we've seen at Raw Thrills, to be able to use those player location relationships for the advantage of the business. And in return, the players, at least, from Raw Thrills, the players get all sorts of really awesome stuff for being a part of, the Game Warden. If you're a Game Warden, you get all sorts of cool stuff. And Stern, I know, has some great stuff planned for if you end up becoming a Stern Army member, for both, the person that is the Army member themselves, along with prizes for the events that are being held at that Army location.
Okay. So
it really is like brand ambassadors, which end up stretching across like not only games, but anything. And companies have brand ambassadors all the time, so this is sort of a take on that.
Very good. Okay, so what do I do if I want to be involved?
So the requirement is, and obviously this is public location based and trying to get games back on the streets, and as Gary Stern would say, butts in the stools, seats in the stools. The goal is to create something that's consistent at a location where the location can count on people showing up every X night, with X being at least monthly. So for some people it's weekly, maybe it's every other week, maybe it's monthly. So for Level 257, we have a first Tuesday of the month for our Super League. And through the Stern Army, the goal is to make sure that location has Stern equipment. So if they don't, the motivation there is, if I'm running a Level 257 tournament and they don't have any Stern games, I'm motivated as part of trying to become a part of the Stern Army with that location of getting them to purchase a Stern machine, and then I get all sorts of goodies for them doing that. And bringing people, it works for the location because people are showing up. It works for Stern because people are playing their new games. And it really becomes mostly about forming that relationship with the location and getting audits, feature audits for games, earning audits for games to see how it's doing, out on the street. So the opportunity for the player and the location to help Stern and help the games be better, it's kind of endless. If you're able to take like all the Ghostbusters that are out right now, I've been, I'll informally ask on Pinside for people to send audit reports, and, I can forward that to Dwight, and he's able to, instead of just trying to guess how balanced the game is and how far features are, he can see data from games all over the world and see how far people are getting. And that in turn, with the changes he'll make to the next code update, will make the game better.
Absolutely.
And everyone
that's
wins.
Great.
So
it's very cool.
Yeah, we're excited to see where it goes. It's definitely, it's a commitment. Having to commit to something that, in Portland they have a tournament every week, but it bounces all over the city to bars all over the place. So, being able to commit to one location that you're there every single month at a minimum is really tough. So I think our goal with the program is to try to get at least 6 people, a half a dozen Army members to sort of kick this thing off and work with Stern and introduce Stern to those locations and see where it goes from there.
Very cool. Very cool.
Do we know of any Army members that have signed up so far, or is that public information, or is that
too early? We're still,
okay.
A lot of people that are interested but don't have a location yet, or they run, like Greg Pavarelli is a perfect example. He runs stuff everywhere all the time, but it's about trying to get something that's, consistent at the same time every month or at the same time every week. So I think, Greg will definitely be a part of it. And there's some other people that were just working out the details on how, what's best for them to be a part of the program without them wanting to blow their brains out by doing too much also.
Very good. All right, well, check that out. It's on the front page of ifpapinball.com. We are running out of time here. I have an email for the group that I wanted to get to before we sign off.
All right.
Dude, these other podcasts go like 3 hours, and I have no idea how they do that, because, oh my God.
They have more endurance, but
yes,
we are not short on content. But hey, it's all about keeping them wanting, right? So
exactly. We want to keep them wanting more. All right. If anybody listening would like to email this show, you can use the same email address I use for the other show. You can use coast2coastpinball@gmail.com. Got this email. This is from Mikey G. Says, "Hi Nate, really enjoying the new show, Wide World of Pinball. Can you guys possibly discuss something small but I think important? What finger or fingers do you guys use to press the flipper buttons? I remember you talking about where players look when they shoot, and that made me think of other very basic mechanics that nobody really talks about. Keep up the good work, Mikey G." So, Steve Bowden, what fingers do you use to press the flippers?
That's great. I mean, that's something I've been wondering as well. I mean, are you a one finger or are you a two finger touch?
Exactly.
Are you I am a one finger touch most of the time. Index finger, unless of course I'm doing staging, because then I use both finger. Like I use my middle finger as a stabilizer, and then
you do that weird stabilizer thing for staging.
Yeah, like I did that before I saw it. Like I was like,
"Oh God!" I tried to do it after I saw it, and it was terrible.
But I don't do it as well as the person is doing it on video. Like I don't do it as well as that. But but mostly I'm a one finger touch unless I'm having a really great game, and then that finger gets tired, and then I go to both the index and middle finger at the same time.
So you'll move from just the index finger to the two finger.
Yeah,
okay.
That's if I'm having a really long game and the ball is always in motion and I can't rest or anything, and I'm literally getting tired from it. But then that doesn't really last as long, and then I'll go back to one finger. I mean, I'd be interested in how people are tap passing more consistently than I am, because I am terrible at that. So I can do it, but every time I do it, it seems magical. But I mean, when I tap pass, I go from the one finger to try and use the whole hand or something, just so it's different, or using a pinky or just something strange. But as far as regular flipping, it's index all the way.
Very interesting. What about you, Josh?
I feel like you asked me this on a Coast to Coast, because I remember like needing to go to one of my games and like feel it, because I wasn't quite sure. I think I never use one finger. I always use two, and I think sometimes it'll be middle and ring finger. Sometimes it'll be middle and pointer finger.
Middle and ring, really?
Sometimes.
Wow.
I think that's what I used to use when I was a kid, and then at some point I like shifted out of that.
But you never used single index finger?
Never. If I was ever to do a single finger, I feel like it would be my middle finger. I am not, like, if you watch Lyman play, he has like the most elegant strokes of the pointer finger. It's almost like he's playing like a harp or something. It's just like sweet music of just like stroking the flipper button and the ball going exactly where it wants to go.
Do you know offhand which finger Zach uses?
I don't. I feel like you asked Zach then when he was like, you have to go back and.
I don't remember. There's been so many shows.
I don't remember this question.
I don't remember if I did. What I do know is that when I really got back into pinball 4 or 5 years ago and started playing and stuff, I was always using my index finger. And when I started playing with you, Josh, out at shows, I saw you using your middle finger, and I thought, oh, I'm doing it wrong. And I immediately switched to the middle.
So wait, what do you use now?
A combination of middle and index together.
Wow.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, I will use both.
I mean, I would try to get used with that, but I would think that I would hit the flipper at a different timing each time with both fingers. That's why I use both fingers just as an emergency. I want the one finger because I know I'm going to hit it now, because I'm trying to memorize where the ball is on the flipper where I hit the shot now.
So I have noticed on a game like Metallica where you have so say you're shooting the grave markers from the right flipper. Kind of a dangerous shot. You need to hit it. You need to not be, sloppy. I will use just my index finger for that shot because I feel like I'm more accurate.
Okay. Well, I mean, if I'm on the right, I'm trying to transfer it to the left, and then I'm back. That's Grave Parker shots from the right flipper are asking for trouble.
No, absolutely, and I do this just playing at home and messing around. In a real game, of course, you don't want to do that because you're going to hit a stand up and drain right down the middle.
And I think you're more likely to hit an actual drop target than drain down the middle.
Right.
That's actually probably that's actually probably the case. You're going to hit something and come right down the middle. But I do like to aim at those drops from the right, just for sort of an accuracy test.
Yeah, it's a great accuracy test shot. I'd agree with that.
It's interesting.
That's such a good question.
That's a great question.
Because I think if you walked around Pinburg, you'd see a lot of different types of flips happening.
I remember thinking Escher like palmed buttons when he was younger. Enough to like ask Adam about that, but just like his hand was so little, you just see like the whole hand over the button on both sides of the cabinet.
Well, I was watching somebody tap pass a game at Pinburg, and they were doing it really, really well. And they were using, I think, either their ring or their middle finger, like almost like loose, kind of a slap of the flipper. And I went and tried it, and it's tough. It takes a lot of work.
That's what mine's like I bang it, and it's just total feel. Like, and that's the same. I stage flip too. Like, I don't do the setting one finger at the depth, the inside depth. It's all feel for me.
Wow.
That's a great survey question, though. I mean, just to get this is simple. What finger do you use?
Should I post that to Tilt Forums right now while we're on the podcast?
Yeah, go for it. Let them know. Let them know that episode 4 is coming out. Guys, we got to wrap this up. I really appreciate it. I said it on Coast to Coast. I'll say it to your ears, not faces, I guess. You're the best hosts I could ever hope for. I appreciate you guys doing this with me.
Well, Nate,
I appreciate you doing 2 episodes this week of your other show. I got you carried me into work twice this week, man.
Fantastic. I was surprised that the second one came out.
Back in the saddle.
That was a 1-2 punch of gloriousness. I was like, wait, what? Did my feed mess up and re-download the same? No, it's different.
If that was a 1-2 punch, this is the third knee up the middle that nobody realizes is coming.
But this is great. I love doing this, especially how you Nate, how you really guide us and keep us reined in, because I'll just talk about whatever while I'm on this microphone.
Well, you guys have great opinions and great stories, and it's fun to hear. So that's episode 4 of the Wide World of Pinball. Thank you all for listening. Say goodbye, Josh.
Goodbye, Josh.
Say goodbye, Steve.
Goodbye, Steve. Collusion.
Feel the flow and
get in the zone.
Until next time, take care.